are talking statistics with Dr. Tom Granoff again. Thank you for being here. And I know today for this video, we want to talk about something on the internet that's free and accessible to everybody, right? Awesome. So we're going to talk about the personality item pool. And Dr. Granoff, tell us all about it.
Thanks. This particular website is about as close as you can get to a plug and play dissertation. There are, well, let me bring it up so you can see where we're at here. And let me go back to the initial page. So the International Personality Item Pool, the website is ipip.ori.org.
Awesome.
This says it includes over 3,000 items in about 250 scales. Most things that you'd want to measure in the behavioral sciences, there are multiple scales for that. Everything here is free. Everything here is validated. All the scales have validity and, good Cronbach alpha reliability, things like that.
Awesome.
Let me just sort of walk you through some of the scales. So they have 274 different labels, and there are 463 scales. So
Amazing.
if you're doing some sort of a leadership study and you're looking for achievement striving, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different scales that measure achievement striving. So, for example, if this is saying the Cronbach alpha is 0.78, and just a quick review, the Cronbach alpha is a measure of internal reliability or internal consistency. You want the alphas to generally be about 0.7 or higher. The theory goes that if the items are answered in a similar fashion, they're all measuring the same construct. So how the IPIP does it is they have what they call positively keyed items, which somebody would say strongly agree to or yes or something like that, and then negatively keyed being strongly disagree. So example, if they have high levels of achievement striving, they'd go straight for the goal. Yes. They work hard. Yes. They turn plans into actions. Yes. Things like that. Negatively would be, I am not highly motivated to succeed. So if they say no for that, that would suggest they're achievement striving. So there's a couple uses for this. One is for quantitative folks that may be able to come up with scales to use to measure their constructs for their dissertation. These are all available. They're free. And there's places on the website that tell you how to cite it and things like that.
Does the website show you, so if I want to use this to measure achievement striving for my dissertation for my, dependent variable, does the website point you to where you can go to get all of the validity, reliability data, how to score it? Yes. And all of that information? Awesome.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's the closest thing to a plug and play dissertation there is.
Awesome.
So from a quantitative standpoint, these are scales that you can use. Now, if you're doing a qualitative dissertation and you're about to do coding of answers, you can sort of look at these and say, this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for, because it's easier to recognize than it is to recall. So let me go back to the prior page here.
Interesting. Okay. It's all alphabetical order. Okay.
All alphabetical order. So for example, for compassion, often in a qualitative dissertation, you're doing a phenomenological study, the lived experiences of people. I like to think of it as, what was it like for you to have this happen? And so, for example, if you're looking at empathy, You know, they feel others' emotions, anticipate the needs, reassure others, make others feel good. I'm concerned about others, things like that. So you can kind of get a general frame of, here are the things that I'm looking for.
Okay.
A quick story, when I was dating my wife, she drove a white 1987 Volkswagen Scirocco. And when we start getting serious, you would not believe the number of white 1987 Volkswagen Scirocco's I used to see in the Los Angeles area. I mean, I'd see a white 1987 Volkswagen Scirocco, you know, my heart's pumping and, oh, it's Tracy, and, you know, all that. And, you know, did the Volkswagen company now bring more cars from Germany? No, my awareness changed.
Right.
So you can use this as a way of building your awareness on whatever topics you want. Let me give just another thing for this. There are a lot of skills on leadership. I know a lot of people are getting like doctoral degrees in organizational leadership. So, you know, leadership, take charge, know how to captivate people, easily express myself easily, things like that. One thing you can do for your own personal development is, let's say you're trying to be a better leader. You can write down the statement, take charge, which is the first one there. And then spend about 5 minutes with this coaching question. How can I do this 1% better this week? And you think about it and you reflect on it. And then you go, you know, next day you write down, know how to captivate people. Well, how can I do that 1% better this week? Or who do I know that's really good at this that I could use as a role model or a mentor? Or what books could I read? So you can take this as thought starters.
Yeah, there's so many uses for it.
Yeah. Another one is, certainly you can do it to be a better leader at work, but I personally believe that parenting is the most important kind of leadership there is. So you could do 5 minutes thinking about how you could be a better leader at work, and then 5 minutes on how to be a better leader in your family. So it would benefit your life in both ways, also because you're processing it on a deeper level, because you've got 2 different contexts to do it in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So anyway.
Can you go back to the main screen for me?
Absolutely.
Because I have 2 thoughts, one from a quantitative perspective and then one from a qualitative perspective.
Okay.
If we're still looking at leadership, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 6 different scales. For anybody doing a quantitative dissertation, this is really helpful for when you're trying to decide which scale to use.
Yes.
This gives you a quick side-by-side comparison. You can compare the alphas, you can look at the validity, and you can look at the types of questions that are answered. And then you can also check in the research to see who uses these and what the results were, because you're going to have to write about that in chapter 3 anyway. So this gives you kind of a quick comparison of valid and reliable instruments that are out there that you could pick and choose from for your study.
Now we're doing the IPIP today, but of course you can also do that through ProQuest.
Yes.
In that you can look for topics, or you can look for dissertations that are on your topic, look at the scale they use, and then you can scholastically liberate portions of their chapter 3 and their chapter 2 that pertain to that particular scale.
Yep.
So
and their references, where did they get all the,
and all those kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing I was thinking about from a qualitative perspective, you were talking about how you could use the items for each of these measures or scales to extract the themes when you're doing your interviews. You can also use them on the front end when you're trying to build out the questions that you want to ask in your interview, and think about, if you want to talk about compassion or leadership, you want to ask the questions about taking charge and expressing yourself clearly and those kind of things. So you can use it on the front and the back end.
Right. And I've seen some people who Where'd it go? So for example, if I go back to the qualitative example, if you're looking at the lived experiences of people, maybe you've got a study where you're interviewing people that were, you know, fired during a hostile takeover of their pharmaceutical company. And one of the things you're looking for is resilience, and you're looking for their industriousness and things like that. You could actually give them a scale like this. And a follow-up question might be, you know, so Mr. Smith, you said that you always keep yourself busy during a time like this. Please tell me more. So you start with a list of things, and you can use that, the ones that are extra high ratings or low ratings, then you ask a follow-up question so you can get a nice fat flavor quote.
Yeah.
That's another way to use this as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then you can also see, like, maybe they you know, had high marks on work hard, complete tasks successfully, I'm always busy, have many things to do. But maybe they didn't put work up above pleasure as high. And so that would be something that you would want to ask about to kind of understand that a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Interesting. This is very cool. So this is ipip.ori.org, and it's free, which is the best part of it all.
Right. And it's free and it's validated. And as you can see, there's scales on all sorts of things.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things that are useful to have. And it's not like the dissertation that you're doing now. You are the first people to ever do dissertations.
Right.
And there are generations and actually centuries of people that have written things. And with the, you know, the internet, there's so many things that are available now that can speed up the process.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. This is wonderful. So I'll put the link in the description here for you guys to go and access it. And good luck on your dissertation work.
All right. Thank you, guys.